Guys, today it's risk on. We're going to talk about where Bitcoin is heading next and what catalyst was kicked off yesterday that is now propelling Bitcoin into higher prices. If you want to know what I'm talking about, make sure that you are definitely sticking around here. And now let's directly get into it. I want to start off today with the address chart that we were talking yesterday about, because I warned you yesterday that based on that everybody is in profit, we might see a minor correction, and lo and behold, that is exactly what happened. It was not a really big one, but it gave us the fuel needed to push right now into higher price levels. So now, what happened yesterday after we saw here a small correction of like a couple $100 that led to that we can go now full on risk. What happened yesterday was that the European Central Bank started rate cuts. You see here since July 2022, rates only hiked, then flattened out, and now yesterday for the first time they were cut by 0.25%. And it was not only the European Central Bank that started cutting rates, no, it was also the Canadian state that started to cut interest rates by the same basis points. So also here you see over the last course here of the last summer, interest rates were flatlining, and now basically after a year they started also cutting the rates. The reason why they are cutting rates is that they are saying we have inflation and now quarantined, and we think we are able to start cutting the rates again. The US did not cut the rates. You see, they are more or less in the same position where the European Central Bank and Canada was before they cut rates, but we did not get yet a rate cut. Remember what I told you guys the other day, the US will be forced to either cut the rates to ease the US economy because of the potential collapse of 63 banking lenders, or they have to come up with something else where they, again, pump money in the market and use quantitative easing to bail the banks and the lenders out because they are about to collapse. And because of that, here a rate cut is imminent. Will we get it next week? I don't know. It is possible that we're getting it, but I'm not putting a lot of trust in it and confidence that this is going to happen next week, but potentially next month. And everybody right now is fully aware of that, with the Europe Central Bank and Canada being the first to do and actually putting pressure on the US to follow suit. Now, I want to show you what happened the last time when we got quantitative easing and an interest rate cut here on the weekly chart. And then we jump directly into Bitcoin price action because I know Bitcoin is almost at $72,000, hammering at a massive resistance level, and things get really interesting. But just let's quick talk about it because it is important, guys. The last time when we got an interest rate cut was on the it was the 15th of March. So here on the weekly chart, I cannot choose the 15th, so I have to go with the 16th, which was funny enough coinciding with the COVID drop when we got the lockdowns, and bottomed out at the same time. And the interest rate cut and the quantitative easing and the stimulus checks in the US were basically our saving grace and started a massive run here to the upside. So in this period lasted over 602 days. I'm not saying that we are seeing something similar right now, that we're getting 600 days or 602 days now of bull market, but it is potentially possible. If we would get 602 days where the potential high for Bitcoin would be, that would bring us to February 2026. So I think that's too long. What I could imagine is that it is somewhere around 500 days. So around 500 days would make sense in terms of the Bitcoin cycle if we would get quantitative easing for that period of time. When we are looking at the percentage return in that time for Bitcoin from the bottom to the high point, we're looking at 1,200%, 12x return on your money that you would have put in here. So because remember, we went from basically 4,000 all the way up here to $69,000. I think did I put this here at 69? Yeah, I did. So we reached above the 3.618 on the Fibonacci levels, but we did not reach the 4.68. We got stuck in between and then turned around. So now in this bull market, I believe we could potentially again reach the 3.618 because Bitcoin likes to go in the bull market to the 3.618 based on historical price action. You should be aware of that the best way to act here is at every single step of a Fibonacci extension level to take some profits off the table, because you don't know when the music is going to stop and this is turning around and comes back down here. And then we have a massive bear market again. So even though I think easily the 2.618 is reachable for Bitcoin in the next 12 to 14 months, I will still take some profits on the 1.618 because it's roughly just above $100,000. And then at the 2.618, roughly at $157,000. And I will take and close all my positions at the 3.618. I don't care if Bitcoin potentially goes above $210,000 and reaches even $300,000. I don't care. I will close all my positions and wait for the next bear market where I identify again correctly the bottom and buy there more Bitcoin with all the profits that I made in this run. And you should have a similar strategy. When we're looking at the cycle where we are in right now, I believe that we have or are about to enter the optimism stage. When do we enter the optimism stage? Once we are breaking above the prior all-time high from March. That is where I believe we are going to enter the stage. You could make a case that it's happening a little bit earlier, as soon as we are closing a daily candle above $72,800 more or less. Because we saw the same thing happening the last time here. Once we closed a daily candle above, sorry, that is in 2020. Yeah, it's correct. So when we, so here, optimism stage, here, sorry, that is the stage. So here you see, once we closed a candle above the prior all-time high, we started rallying here into the belief stage. The optimism stage was a little bit lower here at $12,000. That was the optimism stage. So now we are about to enter the optimism stage. We just need to break basically $1,000 higher than where we are at right now. Then we are finally moving in that direction, because remember, here is the hope stage right now. Currently, should have put it down here. So now we are waiting for the optimism stage to ignite, and it might come sooner than you think. So you need to position yourself right now before we are getting this massive breakout and we go parabolic the same way that we did over here. So you see the kind of angle that we are going up. So also in bull markets, the angle overall, the sharpness of the angle is declining. So I expect something more like this time around. On the daily chart, we are finally above the $71,400 level. I told you how important that level is to break. There was massive resistance sitting, and now on the Wyckoff reaccumulation pattern, we are entering the final phase before we should see a massive breakout happening after completing the spring pattern of the Wyckoff reaccumulation pattern. We are testing the upper zone of the spring zone pretty soon, in my opinion. It will maybe in the next hour or two, maybe even before I publish this video and you actually are able to see this, that we will be sitting at $72,500. But remember, there is also really big resistance in this area. That's why Bitcoin is fighting right now to break into the $72,000 level. And you also see this here on this daily chart here in particular. The $70,800 level was the level where we needed to close a daily candle above that. We got some consolidation over the last 2 days, and now we are ready to move into the range resistance, which is coinciding with the all-time high of $74,000. Once we are above the $72,000 level, I expect that we're going to see major expansion to the upside for Bitcoin. And of course, that will also have a spillover effect in a lot of other assets. When we're going now here to our inverse head and shoulders pattern, we are right now breaking out and above the neckline. So today's daily close will be really interesting to watch because if we are closing above this neckline of $71,400, we should be off to the races into our take profit area for our next Bitcoin trade that is sitting around the $86,700 area. And that area will also then be a signal, a potential signal of the completion of the optimism stage and entering into the belief stage, in my opinion. So here is right now a really good moment to start getting trigger happy for a new Bitcoin position if you haven't opened one yet. But I would wait for a daily close above that level and maybe even wait tomorrow, because what could potentially happen here is that we come tomorrow back down to retest the neckline and then finally running off here to the upside. I have no problem with opening later a Bitcoin position and just have my stop loss around the $70,200 level just to protect me for a potential quick move back to the downside for hunting stop losses. And then if it comes back to tomorrow a little bit, I would just wait it out for that move to unfold in front of our eyes here. When it comes to liquidation levels, you see that we start to liquidate now the over-leveraged short positions, as I mentioned it here for a really, really long time. And now we'll start liquidating the lower tiered short positions. And again, I will show you in a moment where we're going to trigger some massive short liquidations to the upside. And that's going to lead to cascades and price pumps over the next couple hours. But again, I wanted that you take this with a grain of salt and cautiousness, because every time when we get impulsive moves, we leave footprints behind, which are imbalances and fair value gaps that at some point in time we are coming back to fill them. And they will give us, again, potential life-changing entries that we are not going to see again for the rest of the bull market when we are coming down and fill them. So you should be also having some orders in these regions placed. But of course, I would only do that once we start to really see signs of a breakdown. Now we are attacking the $72,000 level as we are speaking. So this is insane here right now while I'm recording, because if we can manage to break $72,000 and get acceptance above it, it's done, guys. You know, the next all-time high is really, really close. So you're gonna see that. Let me actually refresh this now. So you see, we start liquidating, maybe 24 hours now. Yeah, here. So it happened already. So we took out a lot of liquidity at $71,900. Here is the next hotter area at $72,640. These are shorts that tied in today. So I want to see here, maybe on a weekly chart, we get a bit better picture here. So here you see a little bit more concentration still around the $72,000 area, and goes up all the way. I would say, like I said the other day, $72,400. So once we are breaking $72,400, expect a massive candle to the upside to at least $73,400, $500. So you see here, more short liquidity is coming in right now. A lot of people trying to short here, which in my opinion makes no sense. You know, it makes no sense. If you see a pump like that, you don't try to short this. So, but yeah, let this money flow over to me. I'm absolutely fine with that. You know, if I have to play against these kind of people in the market. Something else really positive was that we had, again, positive ETF flows yesterday. Grayscale was selling here a little bit, but actually ARK and Bitwise were selling way more than anyone else, you know, so even more than Grayscale. Yeah, okay, ARK did selling more than Grayscale. Here, BIT didn't. But anyway, we had positive inflows. Again, another sign of confidence of the market and of the ETF investors, that they believe that risk is right now on. And I'm really, really curious about the numbers of today, with the notion that they now know there is pressure on the US to cut the rates since yesterday, with the European and the Canadian banks cutting their rates. So, and most likely other countries will follow them, not only except from the US right now. So other countries will follow, and putting even more pressure on the US to go risk on and force Jerome Powell to start cutting the rates faster than he would have liked to do. Now, when we're looking at the order book, you'll see there is still a lot of liquidity sitting at the $72,000 level. Bulls are trying to push in here right now to liquidate them, but again, just above that at 72,100, there is right now some bigger sell orders coming in, but the next bigger level is at 72,200, and then here 72,500, 600, and 800. But I believe, like I said, once we're breaking here into 72,200 to 72,400, we are going to see a really quick move to the upside, and all these people will get caught off guard unless they really wanted to sell here. Also on the Bollinger Band, we are starting to get closer to the top of the band here. I want to just remind you guys, I told you when we're getting close to it, to the outer side of the band, that at some point price will come back to the middle, and that's what we saw. We saw some consolidation before we got now our next leg here to the upside. And again, the red area is the big resistance that we need to smash through overall. But yeah, what I would like to see here is actually a break of $72,000 in the near term. Overall, this trade that I had given, I think around 10 days ago-ish, is doing pretty well. If you're still in it, congratulations, guys. Keep riding it. So you are up massively on this trade here. If you listen to me, you are up almost 7% on this trade right now. So of course, you use leverage. So you are up like 35, 70, 200, 300%, something like that. And guys, don't forget, I can tell you a little bit more what's going on with me and BYBIT. On Monday, I'm gonna announce what I have cooked up with BYBIT, and I want to remind you, if you want to be part of it, and this is absolutely for you guys, this is for you. I don't make any money of that with BYBIT. They don't give me any money, you know, personally in my pocket. There will be something that's only for you guys, only for everyone that's watching the channel, and the only thing that you need to do is subscribe to the channel, activate the notification bell, sign up on BYBIT with the link in the description below or under the pinned comment, deposit $100, that's all what you need to have on there, and open one trade, but do the open the trade after Monday. You know, you don't have to do it now. Only deposit $100, keep it there until Monday. On Monday, we open a trade together, or you do it by yourself, however you feel like it. And then, like I said, I'm gonna tell you on Monday what it actually is. But go to BYBIT, sign up there. You're not gonna regret it. I promise you guys. This is unseen. Nobody on YouTube does something like this, because this will be not a one shot, guys. We're gonna do this every single time. I'm gonna tell you everything on Monday, but everybody that signs up now already to BYBIT will be taken in consideration. I spoke with them about this today because they said, no, everybody from Monday. I said, no, I don't care. Everybody between the last 2 days and up to Monday will be covered. You know, everybody is in, not only the people when BYBIT is giving me the green light on Monday. I said, everyone that signed up 2 days ago and until Monday is in for this. So go and do it, guys. And now let's actually talk here about some altcoins that we can potentially trade on Monday, unless the market is just exploding right now, you know. So then, of course, we need to look for some other entries. And just a reminder, guys, again, the link is down below here to go to BYBIT. And another exchange that I'm working with is Margex. There you can actually trade without any KYC, and what I do for BYBIT will also come at some stage to Margex. Just that you know, so maybe create directly 2 accounts, but I don't want that you have now on both accounts money and only need to use it on one for that particular thing that I just spoke about, so let's take it step by step, guys. But if you cannot go to BYBIT, then it is absolutely fine to sign up already on Margex, because they don't have any KYC, so you can sign up from any jurisdiction in the world. The same with FAIRDESK, and there you can actually also Copytrade me, and you get $120,000 worth of deposit bonuses if you use the link down below. Funding rates are still, kind of cold, I would say. Here is nothing really heating up. Again, besides Pepper, Lotcoin, and what do we have here? Ton a little bit. Ondo is so Ondo, and also Render and Ethereum Classic. These are the coins that are warming up a little bit, but it's not crazy. It's not like insane. Like if I pull the slide completely back, we are not seeing something like this when I put the funding rates at like 200%, So when we see something like this again, like in the past, then we know, okay, we have again a super frothy market. We should get out of our positions and not get wiped out or round trip our profits. But we are not there yet, So we are definitely not there yet. We are just warming up, and it is a great time to get into altcoins and position ourselves. So now for that, we need to look at the Bitcoin dominance. And what I believe is going to happen here, once that move here in the dominance is completed, because it's really simple. Bitcoin is moving to the upside. Dominance is then, of course, going with it, especially by approaching an all-time high. It does not matter how high the dominance is going here, honestly. If it touches 55.12%, okay, fine. Let it touch it. Because afterwards, a scenario like this here will most likely play out, where the dominance will be falling again under the upward sloping trend line that we are seeing here. So we're gonna fall below that, come back up to retest it one more time, and then we finally gonna see a massive dump in the Bitcoin dominance. And that will coincide with a move in the Ethereum Bitcoin chart, because I'm gonna show that to you tomorrow. There are signs where we see when the altcoin season is really starting based on the Ethereum Bitcoin chart. But like I said, we're going to talk about this tomorrow. Then the USDT dominance is testing here right now, the 4.3% level. Again, once we are breaking this, we are off to the races into a new all-time high. It might happen today, it might happen potentially tomorrow, but I definitely see this level being broken really soon in the next coming days, unless something insane happens over the weekend, like some sort of black swan event where the USD dominance is pumping to the upside. But right now it's not looking like that. It looks more like that the market is getting ready for the next move to the upside. Hence, we lose USDT dominance and will continue to push here into lower levels. And also what you should not forget, we are potentially forming here in head and shoulders pattern. So here, the right shoulder, head, left shoulder. So what's missing is a break of the neckline to the downside. Ethereum, nice, I did not see that. So Ethereum pumped here also back to the upside, all the way up to $3,844 more or less, after breaking above the downward sloping trend line. This is a really bullish sign for Ethereum right now. But of course, that was Bitcoin driven. We are seeing here a small correction on the 1 hourly chart. Again, based on what's Bitcoin doing right now, that's absolutely fine. But if we see here over the next couple hours a proper move in direction of $3,870 and break above this level, I also believe that we are finally off to move here into $4,000. If you are looking for an entry for Ethereum right now, either here along the downward sloping trend line, if we move back here into that region, or above $3,870. So you basically have to wait 1%, let Ethereum move 1%. You miss out on 1% for that move. Get a 1 hourly candle, or actually 15 minutes candle. 15 minutes candle is enough to close above here. And then you can trade this into the higher targets that we spoke about a couple of days ago. Then Optimism also ready finally to move here to the upside. I gave you a really good entry here in this area. So you should be also up here slightly. If you have taken a trade with me together, you should be up here 2.5%. If you trade with 10x leverage, it's 25% that you're up here on this trade. Again, if you want to play it really, really safe, wait for a break of $2.58 of that downward sloping trend line on this 4-hourly chart. And this is also just 2% away from current prices. So here is some resistance in optimism right now that we need to overcome at $2.54. Once we're above that, trust me, you're going to see that optimism is going to fly here to the upside. So honestly, I don't have a position open right now on optimism. I'm looking for an entry. I missed today the entry down here. That's where I wanted to enter, but I missed it. Now I'm either waiting for the break of that resistance or that we come back down here to under $2.50 and I can open from there position. Near also still bouncing off the golden ratio level here. If you're looking for a position, again, not a bad moment to open where we are sitting at right now, but if you want to play it safe, wait off the break of the downward sloping trend line. The stochastic RSI is not looking all too good here. We are getting a potential sell signal on the daily chart, but the momentum is showing us that overall we still want to go higher. That's why I'm ignoring this right now, because the MACD is printing lighter red candles, so selling pressure is fading away, and also the RSI is pointing to the upside here more or less, and that's why I'm ignoring this indicator here for the moment. Then Coty is on a explosive run here right now. I wish I would have re-entered when I saw here 13 cents and 8. I didn't. I hope some of you guys did, because I believe now we'll start to break here the resistance of 15 cents. That will be the next logical entry for me, because there's a huge resistance sitting for Coty. If we can manage to break that, that becomes our next entry to 18 cents and potentially into higher targets. If we get rejected from there, then most likely 14 cents or around 14 cents 2 will be then the next level of support where I want to enter from there. So because, like I said, I missed the entry here. So next one is either here or when we are breaking resistance at 15 cents. And then Solana also moving here. Solana also struggling with the $175 level to move into higher prices. But this might also change as soon as Bitcoin breaks $72,000 and can stay above that. We are potentially in also for a nice pop in Solana back to $180 once that is occurring here on the chart. And again, you had multiple chances to enter here with us together, the trade. I hope you caught it. If not, the next level to enter is, like I just mentioned, 175 cents. Dollars, of course, dollars. I'm so euphoric, guys, because the market is moving, so that already I say cents to dollars, so of course 174.5 dollars is the level that you want to see broken here. Again, you want to have at least a 15-minute candle close above it, or if we break back down here into the support area of $170, these are the levels where you want to enter for a trade to $200 and potentially higher from there. Then render is in a falling wedge pattern. Once you see the breakout, that's the moment to enter. The target is $10.90. It is the top of the falling wedge. That's always the target. It's also in alignment with the top of a golden ratio level. And if we can break above here, then expect that we go to $12 and higher. So now stop losses, guys. Stop losses below the previous low. So that would be for me here at $10.23, where I would set my stop loss. Here we see right now some bearish movement, or also in Bitcoin. Bitcoin just pulled majorly back. That's why we see here momentum shifting right now. Let's go back just for a second to Bitcoin here. So we got a rejection. Look at this. But this is for now an indecision candle, because Bitcoin is fighting its way already back to the upside. So we got only a rejection from the resistance. I was expecting that. Look, we went all the way up to $72,200 and came straight back down. So how is the order book looking since then? Yeah, see, we tried to get through it, but there are still orders stacked Hence why we came down really quickly. You know, I told you this is a really, really important level to break for Bitcoin to move into higher prices. And yeah, we got a rejection from there, but we are creeping our way already back up. So actually this might be a good entry level. But I think I don't have my BYBIT account open. No, I have to do it after the show if we are not already way higher than where we are at right now. Then the last coin that I want to talk about today is Theta, because also Theta here on the daily chart is getting ready for a major break to the upside. You see that we are getting really close to the apex of that chart pattern here. When here I would enter around the $2.30 level or below around $2.05. That is the range where you want to enter, because also here we are about to get a buy signal on the MACD. The RSI is not looking all too bad. The RSI, stochastic RSI, is something that I would keep ignoring for the time being. On the lower time frames, you might look a little bit better. Yeah, stochastic at the bottom. On the 4-hourly chart, again, we are correcting right now momentum wise because of Bitcoin, but we might look better. 12-hourly chart, yeah, okay. So for the time being, we need to wait a little bit because of that rejection. If Bitcoin can stomach that rejection and stay above $71,000, expect that we are back in the next couple hours at the $72,000 level. And that's basically already everything for today's, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in again. I hope you make a lot of money, and don't forget, smash up the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and I'm going to see you then again tomorrow.